Hello, everybody. This is Frédéric Billet, and you are listening to An Hour in BA's Head. Real people with real challenges, teaching us real lessons. Hello everyone. Thank you for clicking the download button. I am Frédéric Billet and I am talking to you from right here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I am a writer, I am a host, I am a friend, I am a partner, I am an animal lover, I am a sensitive guy, I am a tough guy. I do what I want and I do it when I want it. All right, shout out to all my Facebook followers, all my Twitter followers. The list is growing and growing and growing at a faster pace I could have ever imagined. I mean, thank you from all 5 continents. You guys, you follow me, you like my posts, you comment on my posts, and you know what? I am so grateful to you. Thank you. All right, this podcast is about entering the minds and the souls of real people facing real challenges, teaching us real lessons. It is your podcast. It is a personal journal podcast. It's a life podcast. It is free every time you download it on iTunes. Please go over there and subscribe. It is listener supported and fan supported, so the way you can do that is tell a friend, leave a review on iTunes, or for more info, articles, short stories, podcasts, and the latest news, you can find me at frédéricby.com. You can also find me on Twitter at byfred, or on Facebook, simply type in my name, Frédéric Billet Writer, Frédéric By Writer, and you will be set. All right, for those of you who don't know me, I have a blog that drops every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Last week's blogs were about, the first one was about, be careful what I wish for. I told a King Midas story, which is, I've always thought that this story was inspiring, empowering, and makes you think a little bit. So I shared that story with you. And last Thursday, the title of the blog was My Wish Came True. Then what? That's right. Then what? Then what do you do when your wish comes true? So all that and more. If you need inspiration, motivation, entertainment, and everything in between, go now, frédéricby.com, and subscribe for posts, podcasts, and free gifts. All right, today what we're going to talk about, this week's subject is about cooking and traveling. That's right. We're going to talk about this Wednesday's guest. Her name is Linda L. I'm going to give you a little glimpse of what is about to come. You will love her. I'm going to share with you the story of the week and what I learned about cooking and traveling, but most importantly, traveling. I think it's a huge personal growth tool, and I can't wait to share it with you. And thirdly, we're going to talk about the book of the week. It's an Alchemist story. It's a must read. If you haven't read it, you are not of this world. All right. This Wednesday's guest, her name will be Linda L. She is an economist, she's a cook, and she is a traveler. She lived in London, she lived in France, she lived in Canada, she lived in Vancouver, she lived in the Caribbean. She traveled major part of the world. And we're going to cover many subjects with her. We're going to talk about her passion about cooking and traveling and the impact it had on her personal growth. We're going to talk about how she made the shift from economist, ladies and gentlemen, to a full-time cook, a person going after her dreams. How about that? How more inspiring can you get? And we're going to talk about how she dealt with the impact her conservative background and country had on her dreams. Yeah, that's right. Many of you will be able to relate. You come from a family who's very conservative. You must have a rational job with a good income, a secure income. And then you say, you know what? I don't want that. I want to be a writer. I want to be a cook. I don't want to go the conservative way. What happens? She's going to share it with you. You're going to love her. You're going to love her story. You're going to listen to it again and again and again, because repetition is how we learn. This week's story about traveling. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am half Canadian and I am half African. More specifically, the Republic of Gabon. It's on the west side of Africa, right on the equator. I grew up in Canada. I grew up in Quebec, Canada. And, we have an idea. Here in Canada, we have a lot of immigrants. We have Hindus, we have Europeans, we have Chinese, we have Caribbeans, we have Mexicans, we have everything. We are a melting pot of people. I didn't grow up, in Africa, right? And I had a lot of friends, a lot of, Canadian friends, Quebecer friends, 100% Canadian and proud of it. And I am proud to be Canadian. I love being Canadian and I love Canada. The funny thing is, they had a certain perspective of Africans. Now, I can only speak for Gabonese people, right? Which represent, I think, most, Black Africa. What I found out was, when you don't really know a culture and you look at that culture, I witnessed Africans behaving here in Canada. And I believe the people never got out of Canada. They have a perspective of them, the way they eat, the way they talk. And then I had that perspective. I can't lie. I didn't grow up in Africa. I didn't grow up in the Caribbean or whatever. So I had a perspective, the same perspective. I would watch the behavior of Africans here. And I'd go, okay, this is what they're about. This is who they are. Until I was 21 years old. And finally, I went to see my family in Gabon, in Africa. The light bulb went on, ladies and gentlemen. The light bulb went on. I didn't know anything about Africans. And a huge life lesson came to me. Until you went to the country of that culture, until you went to Africa, you don't know Africans. I don't care how much you watch them behave here in Canada, United States, anywhere in the world. Until you've been there, you don't know them. Until you see someone in their natural habitat, you don't know them. And you know what? It opened my perspective. It opened my mind to other cultures. We can't hide it. Look, a lot of people don't like people from the Islamic people, the people from the Muslims. And oftentimes we watch the media, we watch We read the newspaper, we look up the internet, and all of a sudden we think we have a perspective of them. We think we know them through those channels. And the truth and the matter is, we don't. You don't know them until you go there. And this experience, when I went to Africa to see my family, see people, first of all, I found out where I come from because it cleared a lot of questions I had about myself and my behavior. I saw myself in them. I saw where I was coming from, as far as my character and my overall behavior. And I think it's the same thing when you live with other cultures in your own country, such as Canada or the United States or anywhere else in the world. Don't judge them, because I will tell you this: when they come from another country to live and try to make a life for themselves, they are trying to fit in. Don't think it's them. As much as they don't do the right thing sometimes, or they don't behave the right way, they're trying to behave the best way they can. And I stopped believing the media about Islam, about Africans, about this kind of perspective that we have. And it really, helped me to connect with those people, to talk to those people without judgment. We don't know them. This is a story today I want to share. I thought it's a very, very important story. People, you want to get to know a culture, go to their country, period. End of the story. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to, the internet, newspapers. Just go to the country and see with your own eyes. All right. This week's book review. The title is The Alchemist. Yes, you heard, ladies and gentlemen, The Alchemist. I know you heard the name. I know that, if you didn't pick up that book, like I said earlier, you're not of this world. You should read that book. That book is studied in schools. It's an incredible book. The publisher is Harper One, and the type of book is literary fiction. And the author is Paulo Coelho. Look, listen, every time I talk about this book to people I meet, to some of my clients, I always love to talk about books with people, right? And when I ask people, do you know Paulo Coelho? Like, they'll tell me, oh yeah, I read a lot of books, blah, blah. Okay, great. Do you know Paulo Coelho? And then they have to think about it. First of all, I don't like that they have to think about it. They should know who Paulo Coelho is, all right? He is the reason why I'm doing this. He is the reason why I am writing. Anyway, so they have to think about it. And then I tell them, oh, do you know The Alchemist? They go, oh, the light bulb goes on for them. I will summarize the content for you. Basically, the novel combines magic, mysticism, wisdom, and wonder. It is an inspiring tale, ladies and gentlemen, of self-discovery. The Alchemist is a modern classic. I think he has the record for the longest time on the New York Times best-selling books. Isn't that incredible? It sold millions of copies around the world, and I can guarantee you this: it is transforming lives of countless readers across generations. I mean, it's a classic. It's a classic. The novel tells the mystical story of Santiago. He is an Andalusian shepherd boy who yearns to travel in search of a worldly treasure. We all love treasures, don't we? Don't we? Don't you think about pirates and his quest leads him to riches far different and far more satisfying than he ever imagined. That's right. He wants the money, ladies and gentlemen. what can we do? What will we do for money? Well, you know what? You will find out. And Santiago, he gets away with way more than money. I can tell you this. Santiago's journey teaches us about the essential wisdom of listening to our hearts, of recognizing opportunity and learning to read the omens strewn along life's path. And most importantly, it is the heart of the book, ladies and gentlemen, to follow our dreams. The reason why I love that book, oh my God, I love that book for all the reasons in the world. First of all, it's an enlightening tale. It enlightened me. It is insightful. It is inspiring. It touched my heart. I had countless aha moments, countless. And it pushed me to go above and beyond my dreams, my own dreams. And this is the reason why I'm sharing it with you, because I know it will be beneficial to you, people. The same thing it did to me will do to you. I'm the kind of reader who loves to learn, and this is the only reason why I started to read. It's the only reason why I became an avid reader, is because I love to learn, and I usually rarely read books where I won't learn something. And I learned a lot with this book. I learned about life. I learned about acknowledging my real dreams. I learned about, the importance to stop existing and start living. It also brought me a new perspective about following my dreams. The book raises a lot of issues, but I think the main issues it raises are oftentimes the lies we tell ourselves. It raises the issue of facing our fears. This is the reason why we don't go for our dreams, ladies and gentlemen. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of going broke. We're afraid. We always live life from a state of fear for a lot of us. And this book will help you. The other issues that it raises, it raises the issues of listening to our gut feeling. Ladies and gentlemen, trusting the universe. We often say how much faith we have. We often say how much, we believe in something. Well, our actions have to back up this faith. Don't you think? The only negative as a fan, I can say, look, Paulo Coelho is a god to me, right? Isn't he a god? Isn't he a god to you? Anyway, and so the only negative as a fan is I would have liked to have more development of the love story. I think as a fan, you could have played with it a little bit. We can learn a lot about love, but there is a love story in it, and it's great. Okay, it is great, but that little thing more would have been great. But other than that, look, I can't say anything bad about that book. Really, it's just, as a fan, you gave it to me there. So overall, look, I would say it's a must read. It's a classic. It is a life-changing novel, and it will benefit you. If you want more out of life, it will benefit you. And I know you want more out of life because you are listening to this show. The impact that the book had on me, it's very simple. Look, it's a referral to me. I think about its lessons and it brings me back to the source when I go astray. For example, if I lose a little bit of confidence, if I get confused about my path, about what I'm doing, and I think it's important to have something to fall back on when you go astray, when you know what, things happen and don't go your way and it's easy to lose your focus. But when you have a source, when you have a place to go inside of you, in your mind, in your heart, or outside. For me, I just love nature. I take a walk in the forest. This is what I do. Or I listen to The Alchemist in my car. I love its lesson. Look, it's not a Bible, okay? But it's definitely a referral. What I got out of it, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. I got out of it what this show is really all about. And it is about going for your dreams. This is it for today. I want to see you Wednesday. Linda L. She's an economist, a traveler, and a cook. You will love her. I can guarantee you that. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found it helpful. If you want to listen to more episodes, you can visit frédéricbaye.com/podcast. If you'd like to connect, you can also tweet me at @byfred, or you can find me on Facebook at Frédéric Baye Writer. And remember, live with purpose, passion, and love.